Hello YouTube, I'm 21 weeks pregnant. I just had a doctor's appointment and an ultrasound, so I thought I'd update a little bit. Everything was really good for the 20-week anatomy scan. Like I said, I am 21 weeks, but because of weather and some other things, I got pushed back a week. So the ultrasound went really well. Baby is totally healthy and normal, and there doesn't really seem to be any reason for concern at all about all the major organs and all of that. So that was just such a relief because you just never know, you just never know. You always hear those kind of horror stories. And by the way, that is the worst thing you can ever do, is tell a pregnant person something awful that's happening to another pregnant person. I had a friend, a close friend of mine, who I think she probably just wasn't thinking, but she started telling me about someone she knew that had this awful thing happen during their pregnancy. The pregnancy was still viable, the baby was still okay, but some major issues. And it really got in my head, like, oh my gosh, I couldn't stop thinking about it. So note to myself in the future, and anyone else, don't tell pregnant people scary things about babies. Anyway, so in the ultrasound, we got to see his little body and him moving. He wasn't moving a whole lot. He kind of flipped back and forth twice, and so that was cool. We did get to see him in 3D for a short period of time. My ultrasound tech was awesome, and I've had the opposite experience, like most of us have, where you just get a tech that they're really good at their job and like the business, not the business part, but the kind of making sure the baby's healthy and doing what really needs to be done. But as far as like the bedside manner isn't always there. This ultrasound tech that I had was so personable, and you could tell that she's a mom and she really treats you as an individual. So that made the whole experience even better. So she put him in 3D and we got to see his little face. I will show you a picture of that in a minute. He is definitely still a boy, although we didn't really see his boy parts very clearly. When she was looking at something else, I think it was like she was trying to get to maybe his kidneys. She said, like on her way there, she was like, whoop, I see boy parts, because she knew we already knew he was a boy. And then there was another time where I said, so you're sure he's a boy? And she was like, oh yeah. But I never actually saw his little boy parts. And so, yeah, so I was expecting to see that again. So that was a little different than expected. His profile and his face really look like my husband to me. Of course, at only 20 weeks, 20 weeks gestation is how you say it. There's still a lot of developing to do and like fat storing to happen, but we got to kind of see him from the side, and he didn't smile, but he just like changed the way his mouth looked, and it was so weird to see him really look like a baby. Pretty cool. So he weighs 15 ounces, so just an ounce shy of a pound, an estimate of course, but it kind of lets me know the weight that I'm feeling with like the amniotic fluid, and the baby and everything is definitely there. So as far as me and symptoms and weight gain, all that, weight gain, I did gain another 1.5 pounds. So that puts me at 11.5 pounds. So I'll just call it 12 pounds so far. And my blood pressure has been normal and good. So that's great. When they like check your urine and all of that, that's all been normal. I have continued to have like the exact same symptoms, so I won't really go on and on, but in short, I'm just having a lot of stretchy, pulley, uncomfortable, low down pain that I've never experienced this early in pregnancy. So that has sucked. I hope that this is just my body like adjusting and stretching, and then maybe I'll get some relief until the very end of the pregnancy. But there's really no telling how that will all go. So there's that, and then indigestion. I've had a lot of heartburn. I've started taking an approved over-the-counter heartburn medication about once every other day. Because if I don't, I just get really uncomfortable, and I think I've mentioned in the past, it affects my asthma. It affects my breathing pretty badly. So there's that. I think that that's pretty much it for week 21. Yeah, so not a whole lot going on. I'll show you a couple pictures and then do a belly shot. Please ignore my messy bathroom. So I got a bunch of pictures. I'm just going to show two of them that are kind of the best ones. This one is his little profile. It's not very, yeah, it's not really focusing very well. And then here's a couple where you can see his little 3D image. So we really got some pretty good face shots. There's a glare there on the skull right there, but you can see his little nose and mouth and all that. So it was pretty surreal. I've never had one done this early in pregnancy. I realize that's probably not super clear how you can, I'm sure those pictures aren't that easy for you to tell what they are. So anyway, for us, because it's our little baby, it was just really exciting. So here's the belly. Ignore the little noises in the background if you can hear them. That's Miss Natalie on her baby monitor, supposed to be napping, but not napping. So yeah, there's the belly from the side. Here's the front. I feel about the same. I don't really feel a lot bigger or anything like that. I kind of feel like I look just really fat. I say that all the time, and then I'm like, oh, I've got to stop. I've got to stop being negative, because I love being pregnant and I love my belly, and I don't mean to sound like I don't love it. But there are just times where I don't feel like I look that pregnant. I feel like I just look really chubby, like really chubby. Okay, last thing is movement. I am starting to feel him about, I would say like 4 to 8 times a day. So right in between there, which is just awesome, really reassuring. It's helping me kind of connect with him. We are still working on a name. Like I said last week, the ultrasound kind of helped with that a little bit for me. So anyway, that's it. I hope you guys are all doing well, and thank you for watching. I'll be back for my next update, probably week 22, if not week 23.